There is a lot of talk about the AfD and them becoming third in the last elections in Germany, and there is a lot of confusion, especially with Americans, not just with viewers, but also with commentators. I was asked to clarify some of this stuff, and well, here we go. And yes, I will use the proper German spellings, so let's roll, meine amerikanischen Freunde. There are some things to understand here. In a multi-party system with no problems at hand, two parties will hold together about 3/4 of the votes. That's normal, which means that one will rule with the support of one or two of the smaller parties, and it is not unnatural that the second and the third will form a government and the strongest is in opposition. This is something that is hard to grasp for Americans, it seems. I go into way more detail in my videos addressed to Styx Hexenhammer and my video about the FPÖ in Austria. Check them out, links are in the cards and in the descriptions. So, in times of trouble, when the voters lose trust in the big parties, smaller ones become more important. This ends normally in two ways. One, the older parties reform and regain their strength by taking over traits of the smaller parties, or they get replaced by the smaller parties. This happens quite rarely, to be true. In case of the AfD, it will either reform the CDU or it will replace them, at least to a degree. This is of course in the case when we are able to establish a true peace within our borders again. The most important thing to understand is that the AfD is marked as far right, but it's not even the most right-wing party in Germany. This honor goes to the NPD. The AfD is pretty much the CDU back from the 1990s. Of course, it attracts real right-wingers, because success always attracts those who want to punch their own agenda with that. But so did the CDU back then. The AfD is very, very young. They will have to find out what they really are, and that's the problem with commentating right now. I can't tell you what they are, because I pretty much think that they themselves don't know for sure. There are different strains within the party, and it's unclear which one will win the internal battle. The idea that the AfD is a Nazi party is pretty much linked to the political correct notion that everything that stands right from Mao Zedong or Erich Honecker is a Nazi. Germany plays DDR reenactment to such a degree that I think about creating a party in Austria that wants nothing but a wall to Germany, because you see, every 50 years they go insane with their wish to heal the world with their German soul bullshit, and it's better to prevent them to coming over this time. I can't say that I'm particularly fond of the AfD, but it shows that not all Germans want the DDR back. So if you fear that German boots run all over the world again, well, you should really fear the left way more than the right. And our Antifa is way more violent than the American Revolution LARP college kiddies. But the AfD is not as far right as the Linke is left, and the left is perfectly accepted by the mainstream in this very moment. It is important to understand that when a German talks about Nazi, he means something different than when an American, and Chinese or Bulgarian use this word. To imagine what it means when a German says Nazi, imagine a Christian fundamentalist in the middle of the US Bible Belt who screams Antichrist! Antichrist! That's the spirit we are talking about. Nazi means in essence devil, and it's linked to anything that is bad and against anything that is good. So, funny fact, all my lefty friends right now are for the separation of Catalonia from Spain, which is essentially nationalism. I guess they would love a wall between Spain and Catalonia. God, it would be so funny if it wasn't so sad. So, the conclusion is, it's really not really that of a big deal. New parties come and go all the time. Do you know what you need to create a party here over in Austria? You have to create a statute, publish it in a newspaper that comes out more than 4 times a year, and send it to the government. That's it. There is not even a list how many parties do exist in the moment in Austria. We have no idea, but it's a lot, I tell you that. to get into the election process, well, you have to do a little bit more, but in the end it's doable and it's normal that people do it. And it's normal that some of them are successful, often just for one turn, then they vanish into obscurity. I think that the AfD will provide ammo for those within the CDU who want to move back from the left to the right center. Once done, the AfD will vanish. At this point, the AfD is to, let's say, 80% just the right wing of the CDU. Or perhaps Merkel manages to defend her neo-DDR position, and then the AfD will grow to a Volkspartei, a New People's Party. In any way, there is no revolution at hand, it's not a big deal. Not even if they would have gotten the first place, they would be able to form a government, because nobody wants to work with them. That's the central point that you have to understand here. In Europe, even the first place is not a guarantee for ruling. Thanks for watching, like, share and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.